Today's show is a solo episode about the kind of voiceover work I do. You're listening to the Pharmacist Voice Podcast, a journey-style podcast about my career change from pharmacist to voice actor. I'm your host, Kim Newlove. I alternate solo shows and interview shows. The solo shows are about my career change, and the interview shows feature a variety of people who use their voices to advocate, educate, or entertain. Thank you for joining me for episode 6. My website is thepharmacistvoice.com. That's thepharmacist with an S, voice.com. And my email address is kim@thepharmacistvoice.com. Today, we're talking about the kind of voiceover work I do. I specialize in medical narration, e-learning, audiobooks, explainer videos, and podcasting. I am confident, calm, and trustworthy, like a big sister you actually want to listen to. How did I know which genres of voiceover to start with? Well, in a nutshell, instincts and research. I found what I feel comfortable with and enjoy, and it happens to pay pretty well. I started out wanting to narrate pharmacist continuing education journals. No one has been interested in that so far, and rather than give up, I learned how to do something similar. That turned out to be nonfiction audiobooks and e-learning. Narrating both feels comfortable. I also became interested in medical narration and explainer videos. Now, how did I know I wanted to do those two? Reading scripts in group classes and private coaching sessions was the biggest part of it. It just felt right. One of the first practice scripts I ever read in medical narration class was about a drug called Luvox CR. My delivery wasn't great, but I didn't stumble on the words. It felt comfortable and familiar, and I enjoyed it. With practice, my delivery has improved too. I also knew I would be using my strengths. I am comfortable and conversational with content written in the medical space. Medical terminology does not trip me up. Plus, I'm a pharmacist. I earned my confident tone counseling patients and collaborating with other healthcare professionals for 20 years. As a bonus, I'm a wife, mom, and American consumer. I know how to speak with a range of emotions because I've lived for 41 years and experienced a lot of life. I can tell someone how to feel about what I'm talking about when reading a script. It's very similar to counseling a patient on using something that is new to them. The patient can hear my confidence and trustworthiness. I am calm in my delivery. Try this. Hi, Mr. Davis. Here's your Go Lightly bowel prep. Fill the jug with water to the line right here at the top, shake it up, and then drink 8 ounces every 10 minutes. It tastes better if you put it in the refrigerator between doses. Stay at home near a bathroom once you start it. You're going to need to use the bathroom a lot. This is a very common medication to prepare for a colonoscopy, and if you have any questions at all, I'm happy to help. There's no need to make someone feel anxious about drinking a gallon of medicine that will likely cause watery diarrhea. I make my listener feel assured. Take this medicine. You can trust me. This is exactly what your doctor needs you to do. I learned about explainer videos at a voiceover conference. I listened to some speakers and I talked to some of the conference attendees, and I found out that there's a low barrier to entry for explainer videos, so I checked them out. After some research and conversations with trusted friends, I knew they were my kind of voiceover. They're short and they pay well. Would I work in different genres? Yes, you bet I would. For example, if Amazon.com needs me to do voiceover work for their emerging pharmacy business, I'm interested. That might be corporate narration, but I would do it. I love to learn, and even though I have a long attention span, I like the challenge of switching gears often. When I finish a project, I'm ready for a new one. I think I'm going to like switching from one genre to the next. I'm curious to know if I'll find work in the categories I specialize in, though. To review, instincts and research. That's how I knew what kind of voiceover work to target. I am comfortable and conversational with content written in the medical space. I specialize in medical narration, e-learning, audiobooks, explainer videos, and podcasting. I am confident, calm, and trustworthy, like a big sister you actually want to listen to. I mentioned earlier that the type of voiceover I enjoy and feel comfortable with happens to pay well. I did not know the rates when I started training. I got lucky. I learned that the pay for medical narration in particular is very good. Not everyone can do it either. Do voice actors without medical training still do medical narration, though? Yes, all the time. There is definitely competition. There are rate guides in the voiceover industry. The one I'm most familiar with is the Global Voice Acting Academy Rate Guide. You can find it at globalvoiceacademy.com. Each genre is listed, and it reminds me a lot of the salary survey published in Ohio Pharmacist, the Journal of the Ohio Pharmacists Association, OPA. It shares the hourly wage pharmacists earn in various practice settings in Ohio. Data from rural versus metro areas is reported too. Back to voiceover, though. How does the OPA salary survey relate to the voiceover rate guide? Well, just like a pharmacist can practice at a large retail chain, a small hospital, a nursing home, or another setting, the voiceover rate guide is divided into a number of different categories. Some examples on the GVAA rate guide are TV broadcast, web use, on-hold phone messaging, e-learning, medical narration, explainer videos, animation, and video games. There are more out there, too. On-hold messaging pays different from audiobooks. Medical narration pays different from animation. You get the picture. These rates are not guaranteed. Every voice actor must negotiate their rate for each project. What I will accept depends on the client's needs and budget, the editing required, my availability, etc. Satisfying clients is important to me, but I have small windows of time that I can work because of childcare issues and life circumstances. Short projects that pay well fit into my life best. Would I accept other projects? Yes. Another thing I have no control over is finding projects to narrate. Just because I've identified the type of work I want to do doesn't mean that I can find that work. There are some matchmaking sites for the voiceover industry, meaning there are sites that connect clients with voice actors. Some are free, some are called pay-to-play sites. You pay a fee, and the site lets you audition for work. Direct marketing on LinkedIn is also an option. 2020 will be a big year for me to learn about finding projects. I'm excited! I'm excited about my brand, the type of work I'm pursuing, and my comfort level with it. Before I wrap up the show, I want to tell you about the next 2 episodes. The next episode is an interview with Nate Kellmeyer. He is a friend that I met through our volunteer work with the Wood County Opiate Task Force in Bowling Green, Ohio. He's been sober since 2008 and is the co-founder and CEO of the Recovery Institute of Ohio, located in Sandusky, Ohio. The show after Nate's interview will be a solo episode featuring books that have helped me. I will be focusing on 4 books by Julie Morgenstern, a professional organizer whose books I have read and reread in print and audio a number of times. Thanks to Julie's books, I studied myself a lot between 2007 and now. I know what makes me tick, and I'm geeked out about recording that episode. I love Julie. Thank you for listening to the Pharmacist Voice podcast with me, your host, Kim Newlove. Will I succeed in the voiceover industry? Subscribe and find out. Please visit thepharmacistvoice.com to subscribe and read the show notes. That's thepharmacist, with an S, voice.com.